Might be time to go home pretty soon.
Hey, man.
Boy, pull up from Philly again, man. Part 2.
Tap on my music.
Implement your vision into reality.
What's going on? What's going on, YouTube? I'm back. And today we in New York. Oh shit. Oh shit. That's a hard ass shot. What you shooting with? Oh, look at my man right here shooting with.
Oh, let me come up, yo. Just hype did it, y'all. HYPEDIDIC. Follow me on the gram or wherever you need to follow me at. What's your name, bro?
My name's Seen, Forever Seen.
I'm a Forever Seen. We here.
Yes, sir.
That
What's your gram?
HYPEDIDIC.
Pull your phone out, so I'm not gonna remember that.
You from New York?
No, I'm actually from Philly.
Oh, alright, so it's still the same kind of hustle, feel me?
No, of
I was
course.
gonna say you from the town, so we know how to do everything out here.
No,
Same shit, bro.
I ain't from the towns, no. That's me right there. My dog. You save out,
You're gonna come? Hold up. Pause. You're not gonna come. You're gonna pull up, and then this is gonna be me right here.
Make sure y'all
help your
tap
people
in.
leave, and you can see the work. We do everything.
Oh.
But it's gonna cost you.
Of course, everything come with a price. Come on now. And let me see real quick. Let me hop on my gram. Let me follow you back too.
Easy. You locked in, bro. You going downstairs, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Let's go downstairs. I'll come back. Come on.
You all ready? That's how we go downstairs?
Yeah.
We about to go see what's up. Got the AMN on. Got a rep for my boy.
No, it starts at 7. The panel.
Oh, it starts at 7?
Minutes. Yeah, the panel starts at 7.
Oh, so I'm not late.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Yeah. My boy, what's up? What's up, yo? This Musa, AMN.
Boy, pull up from Philly again, man. Part 2.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 2 days in a row. We had to show up. I ain't gonna lie. I was scared I was gonna miss the panel. That's even better.
He need you to sit over there. So.
I got you. Gotta get that front row seat real quick. Gotta get that front row seat. You feel me? You feel me? We live. Let's see, we about to go meet Musa's people. What's up, bro? Team. Mahi.
Nice to see you again.
Oh shit! I'm like, I didn't even notice you
You
at
made
first.
it back safe and then you came right back.
Yeah, of course. And I got the camera out today, guys. I'm with Simone Ruth.
Hello.
What's up, Simon?
Nice to meet you.
What's his name?
Iman.
Yeah. Where you from?
From Kazakhstan.
Oh shit! That's fire.
Iman, nice to meet you.
We here, we live. I'm gonna tap back in with y'all in a little. So right now we waiting for Musa because he's about to start talking on his panel, talking about how you can bring AI into the the creative field and everything. And yeah, we're gonna see what it's looking like. We're gonna see what it's cooking. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you gotta do what you gotta do on your end. You feel me? There go my boy right there. AMN World, Amnesia, AMN.world.
AI is here. It's everywhere. Look around. It's not coming. It's today. It's in creative workflows. And the people on this panel right here are using it and not just speculating about it. And that's what I'm excited about, the real deal. And this conversation isn't about replacing creativity. That's never the conversation. It's about how we enhance it and make everyone's unique creativity the superpowers of the humans that are using the technology, not the other way around. And so we're going to pull back the curtain a bit on how AI is actually showing up inside real designs, real brand strategy, and real collections. So I'm thrilled to be moderating this panel. I'm Kimberly Morgan, and with just our standout leaders and creative practitioners here. So I'll start with Venus. Venus Rose is the founder and creative director of House of Creators, building at the intersection of immersive storytelling, brand strategy, and creative production. From launching AI Sector to now House of Creators AI Labs, which we are sitting in, an incubator, Venus isn't just observing the shift. She's building infrastructure for creators to scale narratives boldly and on their own terms. T. Dion is the visionary behind Futura by Dion, a label known for forward-thinking design and cultural resonance. Her work blends craftsmanship with innovation, and she represents a generation of creators actively redefining what authorship and ownership look like in a tech-evolving landscape. And last, but certainly not least, Musa Fayez is the founder and creative director of AMN Worldwide, a cultural luxury label rooted in artistic expression and entrepreneurial vision. As both a designer and founder, Musa lives at the intersection of cultural narrative, creative production, and sustainable scale. So I think to kick things off, I always like to start with, I think, the thing that's on everyone's mind and what we're thinking about. Where does AI actually show up in a workflow, like in real life, like not in theory? And I'd love to open the discussion there. So, what part of your process remains deeply human still? So I don't know, Tidiane, you want to kick us off?
Yeah. Okay. First off, lovely introduction. Thank you so much. Is this on?
It is.
It is.
It's
The mic is on. So one way I implemented into my design process right now, it's basically been just helping me go from like the process of idea to execution, even if it's not the physical execution, because it saves us a lot of time. And a lot of times when you have a lot of ideas, you have a lot of things you want to do, you're also a founder, you have a lot of administrative roles that you have to play, which also is very helpful when it comes to AI. The creative process can be another thing that we prolong because we're thinking like, okay, is everyone going to like it? And then we just having a conversation earlier about trying to decide, okay, do we want to switch up the texture? Do we want to switch up the color? How do we get to see what that looks like without wasting our time and money? A lot of us are starting from the ground up or building from the ground up. We might not have the same capital as people that can play around with ideas and throw stuff out and sit on it for years. Like, we have to be resourceful for ourselves. So it's done that for me.
I love that. I think there's the purposefulness of time is money, right? And then money is lost customer interest. I'd love, Musa, if you want to build on that and share your perspective.
Exactly what T said. Is more about just cutting.
Is it on?
Yeah, I don't know if it's on.
It's not on press, but
Yeah, it's just more about cutting all the unnecessary, tasks that when it comes to being a creative, and it kind of like just gets you right there without, investing too much money or extra time or even resources. So I know this is a hot topic, but a lot of people say AI is like bad for the environment, but so is creating an excess of production of clothes. And when you use AI, you can really stop producing things that are not worth producing by basically just creating a mock-up of exactly what it is, down to the texture, the colors, and you can basically save time, fabric, resources, and just get straight to the point,
And meet sell-through, right? Sell out. Like, that'd be amazing, right? Venus, do you want to, oh wait, no, actually, do you want to build on that? Sure.
Yeah, I mean, because you were talking about like what side of my creativity remains human.
Yes.
I would say the ideation process. What I use AI for creatively, I would use something like ChatGPT I would input my idea and allow it to generate and build on that. So yeah, I think that answers that.
Yeah, but you are the human, the creative inspiration that's telling that, right? To just amplify. I think that's incredibly important. The practical side of AI in action, but and I think Tidiane, I'd love to build on that. So you're navigating like how creative practice evolves from kind of the aesthetic piece to the operational piece and kind of back again. And I think this makes this conversation very real, right? I'd love to hear you talk a little bit more about how AI has shifted, maybe, like you talked a little bit about the conceptualization of collections, but maybe even how you communicate with your team, and what does that look like for you?
That's a good question. Has me thinking. So I would say one thing I can think, right? As a person with ADHD, I know a lot of us creatives kind of have that. Delegating tasks was a really important thing that I missed over the years that I realized was so essential because I had so much focus on creative execution, and now I'm lacking the balance of the other execution, which is operational. In order to have a business, we have to be able to run a business. We can't just be good at creating. And it's been a lot of trial and error with that, so I feel like delegating tasks was the main issue, and AI immediately helped me with that. Because it's just easier for me to formulate my thoughts, even if I'm just talking to it like I'm talking to a friend, Even better so, because sometimes I'll just run on and run on and run on, but you can do that, and it gets what you're trying to say.
Yeah, it can parse through. The friends at time out, they're like, dude, I don't have any more
okay,
time for this. The robot has all the time in the world. Tell me more.
Exactly, I can
No,
talk
but it's
in
a good
circles.
sounding board.
Yeah.
And then say, can you break this down into two sentences?
Exactly.
And it does. Like, that's
It's like the team
it's a
meeting
breakthrough.
before the team meeting.
Yeah,
Because if you don't know how to talk to people properly, you're talking in circles, you're throwing out ideas at people. We've all been there. We had an authority that,
Yeah.
it's just like, do this, you're all over the place. Now I can have that breakdown in that one-on-one moment before I have that moment with the team. You know what I'm saying? So that I'm properly delegating tasks, so I'm not just throwing things out there. And yeah, it definitely helped me with my brain get kind of clouded up with so many different things.
I think it's, like the purposefulness, again, time is money,
Yeah,
money is time.
really
Like, how do you
hack in.
optimize that,
Yeah.
in the best way?
Yeah.
And so, Moose, I'd love for you to build on that. You're not just like designing, I mean, you're building a business around culture.
Yeah.
And I think that makes AI and the conversation layer complex.
Yeah, I mean, people think about AI as kind of like just generating from a bunch of different things. So I guess you could say it takes from all cultures and it reproduces. But I feel like for me, it's more about the taste, and something that AI can't replace is taste. So for me as a creative, I feel like it kind of accelerates what I'm doing, because if you have a good taste, all you need is AI to replicate your taste, basically exactly what you're trying to do. So all you have to do is get knowledgeable on how to use AI and different tools to basically implement your vision into reality, which is just like Photoshop or any other platform which we've used before.
Right, which I feel like Photoshop was like super disruptive, and then you went into CAD. Oh no, it's like, I think maybe as AI is that next tool that, when anything is foreign, then becomes normalized. It's the way.
Exactly, like AI is just a new Photoshop. It might be way more accelerated than Photoshop was, but in a similar way, it's just another tool for creatives to use. It's another weapon in the arsenal as a creative. So you could basically just put your ideas out into reality just without having to go through so many extra layers and extra steps. And even like Photoshop, AI is also about, learning how to use AI properly, just like how people have to learn Photoshop. So, it's all about implementing the tools that you need to get your creations out there.
Do you think that it expands sort of your aesthetic range, or do you think it helps you refine it? Or maybe it depends on the moment, but I think it could be either, right? It can amplify.
It could be either, but
cull it down.
But for me, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it doesn't change anything about my aesthetic range, because that's what makes me as a human.
Right.
It's more so articulates my aesthetic range. So
That's a great
basically,
point.
every other part is just helping me get there, and that's why I feel like AI as a creative thing is different than on the tech side, because we have the taste, and all we have to do is just communicate that properly to the viewer,
Right.
and to AI itself, so it can do that for us.
I mean, I think that point, it's you, right? Your aesthetic. It's not that you plugged in to say, create me an aesthetic that's hip and denim, because it can be any denim, because we're having a denim moment. Like, it's you.
Yeah, and I want to make a comment. AI is really just data. At the end of the day, it's really that simple. Like, it's your memory, it's your information, it's your aesthetic. It's it's just like something that's you programs like your mind into it. It just generates it. Like, it's really simple. I wanted to create this community so that the creators can understand like how simple it is, because I feel like it's being projected as something so complex, but it's really just data. That's all it is.
I think it's also a layer. I always say to people I work with in my community, retail women in tech, or my clients, it's the smartest human that's never scraped their knee or breathed there or had their heart broken. It's a robot. Like, come on. So that's it. If you position it like that, it's not this unattainable thing. It's data, and it's you. I think that was real. That definitely resonates. And I think it's the humans that and that craft that remains sacred. If everything's going to be AI driven, it's just computer crap. I mean, that's,
and also I feel like
that.
it kind of breaks it down to like certain roles as a creative director that will thrive more, because other roles might get diminished for sure, but like as a creative, and your taste level will be the most important thing in the new age of technology, because you have all the tools you need to basically create your vision. So all that's left is what your vision really is. Is it really different than the rest, or is it the same as everybody else? Because I could just go on ChatGPT and type in Prada Fall Winter 1999 and just reproduce all of that. But then somebody that's into fashion will see that and be like, oh, you're just copying Prada.
Yeah.
You want to create your own vision that's something much different than the rest. And that's what I use AI personally for too.
I think that consumers are hip to that. Like they can see it. They see right through that. I was watching the Super Bowl and all the AI generated ads, and even my daughter's 11. I can't remember one of the. She's like, "Oh, it's so AI." You could tell. I'm like, "How do you even know?" She doesn't even know what AI is, but I think it's like her repeating what your friends say. But like they're already there. She's 11. They don't want that. They want the authenticity. They want the real. So creatives, this community is going to be so incredibly imperative to the future. And it's this forum, these environments that we need to come together to inspire each other, to break down this unattainable AI and make it palpable and then usable. Because you're right, I mean, who wants a redesigned product crap? I want something that's defines me, which is unique.
Exactly.
You know? Awesome. Venus, I'd love to talk a little bit about where you sit, which is, we talked about it, you're at the intersection of brand identity, you know, emerging tech. You talked a little bit about, you know, breaking down AI, but, you know, why, when you think of AI startups, or even any creatives, it doesn't matter, AI startup, organization, it doesn't matter, you know, need that cultural fluency.
Okay, let's break that question down a little more.
Yeah, let's break it down.
So you're talking about like.
So, okay, how do you translate, I would say, a tech forward product into a cultural forward narrative? Like you take the product, what does that mean to culture to product, and then you have AI that pack. Like, what does that look like?
Like bringing culture to the tech space.
Yes.
I just feel like it's about collaboration and access. Like giving people exposure to what it is. Like for myself, I got into this hanging out at Station 3, which is the Web3 Tech Hub on Wall Street, and I was the only creative there. And I was there with software engineers and VC firms. I just put myself in the environment, and it's like I organically learned. And I think that's where it starts. It's like even creating this space, like bringing investors in one room, bringing VC firms, bringing AI companies, bringing creators, bringing influencers. I think it's where it starts. And like this is how culture, you know, builds. It's like, you know, just putting, I would say, you know, creating an opportunity for people to connect and have conversation. And I think things like organically grow from there. I'm a very like organic type of person. I don't really like strategically plan things out. I just put myself in spaces that makes me happy, and I just explore from there. So I think that's where it starts. It's just collaboration and also to access, because a lot of creators, you know, would never think to go to a tech hub or maybe a finance space, you know.
And I think that's these like, you know, everyone loves a label. I mean, fashions have labels, and we love labels, but labels in a way of you're this and I'm that. And we put things in boxes because it's easy. It's like humans like that. It's just easy to compartmentalize people. And AI doesn't do that, right? It's literally the skill sets, the creative. That's universal. It's from health to fashion to automotive. And I think what you're creating is a community where people can come together and be side by side, and it shouldn't be just finance over there and the VCs, and then we have the creatives over here in tech. How are we going to drive solve the hard problems? If we're not coming together, it's not going to happen.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think like, you know, unity always saves the day at the end of the day, because I know a lot of people are afraid of AI, but it's like, you know, if we come together, we can build out the future. We can control AI. AI is a part of us. It's our data at the end of the day. Like I feel like AI is just a mesh of all the generations of data, and it's just computing things. However, if we, you know, be a part of that, we could guide that, and we could actually build the future that we desire versus like this fear, you know. If you sit back and be afraid of it, then, you know, who knows where it will go, you know, especially if it's in the wrong hands. So like, why not, you know, bring the people who actually use it, you know, a part of this experience. Why sit back and just be afraid, you know?
To democratize, right? How do you have perspective? If your perspective is eliminated, then you have three perspectives. That's just a vacuum. And the creative's perspective, then it's just a computer. Then you go back, if these voices in this room aren't making sure they have a seat at the table and directing that, then it's just computer generated crap. And that's sad. and this industry, you know, these practitioners, you guys, this is the lifeblood. You have to be woven throughout. So it's, you know, it's our responsibility, I think, to do that, right, to come together. So I very much appreciate that. I think it's, you have that authentic narrative, and that doesn't move, you know, alone technology without that is not moving culture, and culture without tech can't scale, right? It's a scalable tool. So I think the other piece that I think is really important to talk about too, you know, with scale also comes vulnerability. You know, as your brand labels get bigger, other people look, oh, with this product from 2019, you moved the label over 2 inches, it's not yours. You know, I think I'd like to talk a little bit about control and ownership, right? And what does that look like? Because there's nothing more sacred than your brand, TDM. Like, give me a future. I mean, like, how do you, I'd love for you to share your take on like protection. Like, how do you ensure your creative voice is yours while using, you know, AI and tools in that way?
So I guess for starters, because you know AI is something that I'm still exploring just like anyone else. So I would say as of right now, I typically feel like my design process, right, that can look different one design from another.
Sure.
Sometimes I'm making something out of just like a passion project, and then I realize this is something that could potentially scale. Let me play around with it and see, you know, a bunch of different color variations. Now I'm more comfortable putting it out there, seeing what everyone thinks, but it all started with a physical sample. Not saying it has to though, so I don't want that to be taken the wrong way. But that has been a big essential thing for me lately. It's like, okay, let me experiment, and then let me use AI to kind of like play around, see different variations, see what it would look like as a dress maybe instead of a skirt or as a, you know?
Right, before you do
like
the
that.
work of the work before,
Exactly.
right? Yeah.
And I still feel like that still has everything to do with the original concept that came from me.
Yes.
I just took it upon myself to want to see different variations without me having to sit at the sewing machine for multiple more days, because I know I'm also going to want to take the time to put together a treatment, to do a photo shoot and do visuals, and I'm into all those other aspects of creating as well.
Right.
So actually sitting at the sewing machine physically is not my passion, even though that's one of many skill sets that we would have. I would love to save myself time because I have other things to do.
Yeah, I mean,
saying?
yeah, and you can come back and your creative brain was just still working while you were doing the other things.
Yeah,
Like, that's
so
amazing.
I sat there, I was in my flow, I created something that I physically love, and now I want to see different variations of it and move on from it to the next thing. So far, that's how I've been using it, and sometimes even if it's not a physical product, I might have a similar physical product, and now I want to see different versions so that we can get it right the first time whenever we do produce it.
I mean, and that's time and money and production
Time
and
and
supply.
money
Come on,
together.
this is all. It's
Yeah.
the whole end-to-end cycle, right?
Exactly. And I feel like that'll be the thing that can change us having to, like, say you design something and it comes, you finally get it. This is actually just happening recently. I started production for something in the summer, and I had my mind set on summer. Okay, perfect. This is just in time. It's just in time. 30 days, 35 days, whatever they said. It always takes more than that, more than likely. Next thing you know, it's fall. People are not thinking about that product right now. You're rebuilding a demand for that product. That's fine, but sometimes we can save ourselves time. Like, let's be resourceful to ourselves, but it's still legitimate. It's still your own design.
Yeah.
You know, no one's saying you gotta let them do all the work for you.
No, I think that's a great example.
Yeah.
I don't know, Musa, if you want to build on that when you think about like kind of control and ownership.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when it comes to ownership, like for me, example, like I'm Pakistani American and I put a lot of like my culture into what I do. So I feel like that's where my ownership comes in. It comes in my voice, my taste. So that type of thing can't really be replicated. Like somebody could go on AI and like put my thing and then whatever, but they didn't live my life and they didn't have my experiences. So at the end of the day, they can't really replicate that. And AI can't really replicate it either. All AI could do is help me get from point A to point B with my experiences, with my taste, with my identity, with my culture. So you're really just inputting your culture or whatever you need to do into AI to get that. So at the end of the day, I always feel like I own my final product. And if I feel like I don't, if I feel like AI messed it up along the way, then it's never going to come out, you know?
Because it's not you anyway.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Venus, do you have want to build on that?
When I'm thinking about protection and
Yes.
thinking about IP, thinking about contracts.
Yeah.
So I can bring in the perception, the perspective of using AI to help generate or even amend contracts. Like I recently did that with like a big campaign. I was able to take the client's contract, put it into ChatGPT, and I asked ChatGPT, like, can you, rewrite this so that it protects House of Creators? And it did, So I think a lot of creators, because I know many who don't even, know how to write contracts, but here is the opportunities, using AI to help with that side of things,
Yeah, I think knowing where your gaps are too. I run contracts through it too. What am I missing? What are the ragged? What's red, amber, green? What's the worst thing? And then what are the things that are like, okay, there are some key things you'd miss even reading it, and you didn't even think about. And that's you, right? Can you imagine someone just says, yeah, well, you signed it, and now I own this? How devastating and how wrong. So I think that's just such another layer on top of the ownership of that. So, okay, I think it's time for some rapid fire. We've been going pretty rapid, but let's wrap more quick. So I think, we want to leave, you already shared so much with the audience, but I think, we wanted to give them some more of those gems that you guys have shared already. But so I think the first question, if you were a creator, which you are right now, but just starting out, and to experiment with AI, which I know, Dion, you are, but you're further along, where would you begin? Lisa, do you want to?
I feel like today it might be one of the best times to be like starting a brand, because even though it's so oversaturated, you could start with almost $0. You could basically just start all in AI, build the concept, build the images, and create exactly what the product will look like or the piece will look like without spending a dime, without going to manufacture, without wasting materials. So you don't have a bunch of clothes sitting in your garage or in your storage. You're actually testing the product. You can show your friends on top of that. You could ask AI.
Crowdsource it. What do you
Exactly.
think?
And you can even ask AI again, on a separate chat or a separate platform, what do you think about this piece that I made or I generated? And then you get more feedback without, pushing the button, without talking to manufacturers. And then you can go from there based on the feedback that you get, based on what everybody's saying, or based on AI or yourself. Then you can go, when you feel 100% confident, when you feel like your product will sell, then you can push the button. Then you can start without, like for me, I had a lot of trial and error with my brand. Before, I didn't know much about technology, AI. AI existed in 2019 when I started my brand, but I didn't really,
not like today.
So I had to go through years of trial and error, getting samples that were messed up.
It's hard, right?
Exactly.
And I think, you just, what you explained, you leapfrog months, probably. Yep. Months.
Yep.
To get to something that's like, yes, this is me. And then you go into, it's a beautiful thing.
Exactly.
Wow, that's a great example. Venus, maybe what skills, when you think of skills, matter most in an AI-powered sort of creative economy? What would you?
I think prompt engineering is a big one right now. I've been seeing a lot of amazing fashion content online that are just prompt engineered. Sometimes they're like 3 different softwares, creators running it through. But I think if you learn prompt engineering, there is a lot of new job opportunities for you, because you could be a prompt engineer for like creative direction, prompt engineering for styling, prompt. It's so many, like it opens up so many different lanes for you. So for any creators that haven't stepped into AI right now, I would highly suggest prompt engineering.
I love that, because I also think it goes outside of those boxes. It's not just one note. Like so many opportunity. You just need to focus on that. I think that's great. And I think when you're looking, maybe TDon, maybe when you're looking at AI to measure impact, or maybe even calculate metrics, what are your thoughts on that? Like, how do you know, like, AI is like, oh, this is successful? Like, is it time saving? Is it, pattern acceleration? What are some of the areas, like the return on investment, if you will?
It's definitely both.
Yeah, sure.
And I feel like to add on to what Venus was also saying with the prompting,
yes,
even as a designer, I feel like it definitely helped with paying attention to detail. Because there's been a lot of things in the past where the public is not going to know if something came out 100% the way you wanted it, right? But a lot of the times we're like, no, this is not exactly what I wanted. I already done this sample so many times. I guess I'm going to put it out there. You're not really feeling good about your product 100%. I will say, since using AI a little bit more and having more experience with the prompting, it's helped me with paying attention to detail, because you can't miss a beat. You know, you have to pay attention to
Stitching
detail.
or
else
light,
you are just
yeah.
going with the flow and letting it, you know, do what you want it to do. But then you're not being true to yourself. You're not really reaching 100% execution of your ideas. So I think that's helped me a lot. And a lot of times that helps my confidence of releasing something, because sometimes even if the crowd likes it, it's not necessarily what I envision. So I might sit on something like that for a year, 2 years. Some of my best work is stuff that I sat on and I was just like, I don't really know.
And you're waiting for that thing, like that validation point, and it's like if this could get, maybe AI can help you get to that quicker, for right or wrong. Either it's like we gotta table this or it's ready. Like, either way, that's a good thing.
Yeah, and then at the same time, it's also like an internal validation that you get to at some point, to where, like I said, everyone else is gonna like it. They're like, oh, it's cool. Somebody's gonna find something and like it, but you know, it's not 100% how you want it. You know, the button's off. You know, you intended for it to be oversized jeans. You know, you don't want to sell. So the pants were flooding, and you were going for an oversized barrel style, and you're just gonna put it out to the world. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times that happens to us because we've already spent the money.
Yeah,
We've already
because
done the production, and it's
what
too,
are the
it's too late.
options?
Now everyone's getting too short pants, and like they're like, wow, she doesn't, you know.
Like I'm walking around.
Yeah, we got them.
I want to
look right.
what am I doing
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
No, it's
So
true.
rather than that happening, it has helped me with just kind of paying attention to detail. And then essentially, I feel like that's also what kind of help with kind of like metrics and
Totally.
stuff
I
like
mean,
that.
I think that is exactly.
Because sometimes those key details is what people like.
It's no. I was just gonna say it's the details are that's the inspiration of it all.
Yeah.
So, well, I want to thank everyone for the time. Am I interested or do you want to introduce them? You want me to?
Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to thank the panelists for such a killer discussion. I think the inspiration endless. The examples of how you're using AI today. It's it should be inspiring because we're here together to do this. The lab is here to facilitate that. So thank you, Venus and House of Creators. And I think there's no better time and place than Fashion Week to show how a technology that's been built for creators, not engineers, like Raspberry AI, is doing that today. And so that's what's up next, to show this in real life. So thank you. Thank you. And
Are you okay?
I'm good. Okay.
And you have I should have brought mine.
Guys, make sure you tap into Simone Ruth.
Simone Ruth on all platforms, tap on my music.
She makes that great music. Great music. I'm with her friend too, Naomi too.
Hey.
We were just here at the House of what was it? House of
Creators Foundation.
House of Creators Foundation. We just watched the panel. They just spoke. They showed us Raspberry AI. It's too crazy and hectic in here. I'm not gonna lie. I low-key gotta get out. I'm starting to get anxiety. I'm not really too many people right now. We at the Gap after party after the panel. I got Zappa right next to me. Yeah, it was good. I got Musa right next to me over here. It's not really too much happening, but I'm gonna tap back in when something happens. They trying to start it right now, so we're gonna see. Right now we in the game room. Feel me? I got all these boxes, all these old ass games and shit. Look at this Rick and Morty PS5. Shit wildin' over here. New York Fashion Week. Feel me? And I got my man Musa right here. Making phone calls, trying to get into these places and shit. Not gonna lie, it was a fire party. But it might be time to go home pretty soon, so I'm just here mobbing, trying to see what the next move is. Maybe I'll stay, maybe I'll go home. We'll see what's gonna happen, but make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, do what you gotta do. Feel me? Oh, look at this. I just seen this. Hold on, look at this. That's fire. Don't ever stop. Slow motion better than no motion. Don't ever forget. Don't ever forget. Slow motion better than no motion. And I know these glasses be making me look smart. Oh my gosh, look at my head. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna see you guys probably when I'm back in the car. You'll see me in the next clip. Oh man, literally after driving an hour and a half, no, actually driving 20 minutes to 30 minutes to a charging station to charge my Tesla, to driving an hour and a half back to Philly. I'm so burnt out. I'm so done. But what I will tell you is never forget, slow motion is better than no motion. It's crazy how I'm doing an outro right now at like 4 in the morning or like 3 in the morning. But that's just to show you the dedication and the execution process. Don't ever forget it, okay? Don't ever forget this either. Don't mess up your progress trying to rush the process. If February didn't March, April, May. And if April, May didn't, you still got June, July, August, so on and so forth until the rest of the year. So don't ever forget, and I'm going to leave you off with this again. Slow motion is better than no motion. Never stop chasing your dreams. Just make sure you're using the tools around you to get to where you need to get to. With all that being said, don't forget to shop AMN World. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Make sure to tap into the streams.